Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Introduce us from group 2. Today we will explain about pragmatics from meeting 9. First, introduce myself. My name is Novita and they are
Indri Diniari,
Christyanty Purnama Sari,
Sherinah Eriyanti.
Okay, let's start.
Definition of pragmatics. Pragmatic is a branch of linguistics which is the study of language. Pragmatics focus on conversational implication, which is a process in which the speaker implies and a listener infers. Simply put, pragmatics studies language that is not directly spoken. Instead, the speaker hints at or suggests a meaning, and the listener assumes the correct intention. Speech act. Speech is something expressed by an individual that not only presents information, but performs an action as well. Speech acts may be requests, warning, promise, apologize, greetings, and others. Example, I would like the fried chicken. Could you please pass it to me?
Classification of speech act by Searle. Searle suggests that speech act consists of 5 general classifications to classify the function or illusionary of speech act. There are deliberation, representative, expressive, directive, and commissive. Declaration speech act is the act that makes the proposition. 2. Representative. In speech act, the speaker intention to assert the speaker belief. 3. Expressive. Expressive of speech act that show the expression of the speaker via utterance. 4. Directive. This type of speech act aims to make someone else to do something that the speaker desires. And then the last, commissive. Commissive speech act are the act of committing to future action. This type of speech show the intention of the speaker in the future, which will be made to happen in a later moment. Okay, next. Dasar-dasar pemikiran Austin. Additionally, Austin idea in how to do things with words distinguish descriptive speech into two, constative and performative. Yeah. Constative utterances that do not take action and can find out whatever they are wrong. According to Austin, constant speech is a type of speech that describes a factual situation, the content of which way revert to historical fact or even the actual occurred in the past. Constative speech has a consequence to be determined right or wrong based on the factual relationship between the proponent and the actual fact. So the dimension of constative speech are true and false. Example, you look happy. And then performative utterance, namely that have implication for the action of the speaker, even though it is the difficult to know whatever or not is the true, cannot be determined on the basis of the facts because this utterance is more related to the behavior or action of the speakers. Okay, next.
Okay, now it's about pellicity condition. The term pellicity condition refers to the condition that must be in place and the criteria that must be satisfied for a speech act to achieve its purpose. In other words, says Mark Lieberman, an instructor at the University of Pennsylvania, a sentence must not only be grammatical to be correctly performed, it must also be felicitous or well suited for the purpose. Types of felicity condition. There are professional contents, preparatory, sincerity, and essential. Propositional content, which requires participants to understand language, not to act like actors. Second, preparatory, where the authority of the speaker and the circumstance of the speech act are appropriate to its being performed successfully. Sincerity, where the speech act is being performed seriously and sincerely. And the last, essential, where the speaker intends that an utterance be acted upon by the addresses. Next, locution, elocution, and verlocution. Speech act theory. Austin founded speech act theory on the belief that speakers do not only utilize language to say things, but to do things. When we use language to do something, we are performing a speech act. For example, time out and shotgun. Austin distinguished three components of speech act. First, the locutionary, the act of saying something in the full sense of say. Example, close the window. Next, an elocutionary, an act performed in saying something, the act identified by explicit performative. Example, speaker asks hearer to open the window. And the last, verlocution, the act performed by or as a result of saying. Next.
And then, according to Greece, he proposed that to have a success communication and conversation between speaker and hearer must obey a set of principles, which includes four conversational rules. First, quantity. Make your contribution as informative as is required. Don't make your contribution more informative than is required. For example, why are you late? Because it's rain. And secondly, quality. Try to make your contribution one that is true. Don't say what you believe to be false and avoid including information that you can back up with supporting evidence. And third, is relation. Be relevant. Make sure that all the information you provide is relevant to the current exchange. And fourth is manner. Be perspicacious or clear. There are various additional maxims of manner, which is avoid obscurity of expression, avoid ambiguity, be brief, and be orderly. And then there is explicator and implicator. Explicator in pragmatics is a direct or explicit speech act. Simply put, what is actually said, the content of the content as opposed to what's intent or implied. An implicator, according to Greece, is additional convey meaning, which is inferred to indirectly or through the hints. Presupposition, something the speaker assumes to be the case prior to make an utterance. There is existential, lexical, and factive. Uh, Existential is entities named by the speaker are assumed to be present. For example, the car was broken. We suppose that the existence refers to car. Lexical is assumption that the speaker can act as the other meaning will be understand. For example, you late again, you late before. And factive is the assumption that something is true due to the presence of some verbs such as know and realize. And non-factive is an assumption refer to something that is not true. Structural is the assumption associated with the use of certain structures. And counterfactual is the assumption that what is presupposed is not only untrue, but is the opposite of what is true or contrary to facts. I think that's it.
Okay, that's all, guys. Thank you for attention. We apologize if there are mistakes while we explain. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.